Starting recording in 3, 2, 1. Who is the most badass woman in Star Trek? This video is fair use for the purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, and it doesn't infringe on copyright under 17 USC 107. So the most badass woman in Star Trek is good at everything. She can control her emotions. She'll throw down with a Vulcan. And she's a woman of color. She may even be a Mary Sue. No, it's not Mariner. Or Tindy. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, I guess. So close, but no. No, in my opinion, the most badass woman in all of Star Trek is Nichelle Nichols, Lieutenant Uhura. Over the decades, Lieutenant Uhura has gotten a bad rap as being the space telephone operator. But if you really watch the series closely, she's the most competent bridge officer outside of Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock. She's good at everything. Entertaining the crew. Here on the left, in the episode Charlie X, she's singing while Spock accompanies her on the Vulcan harp. And she's literally making up the song as she's singing it. Here on the right, we see her in the episode Conscience of the King. Lieutenant Riley is down in the engineering spaces because Kirk wants to protect him from the executioner called Kodos. And Lieutenant Riley, feeling lonely, which as a sailor I can really understand, he calls up to the crew deck feeling like he's the only one left alive anywhere in the galaxy. So she sings him a song. She's also good at navigation. Here we see her in the episode Balance of Terror while they're fighting the Klingon warbird, the Romulan warbird. She takes over at navigation. This is a very critical situation in close quarters. Here again in the episode The Naked Time, on the left we see her being manhandled by Sulu. But then later on the right, when the orbit is in decaying, she takes over at navigation once again. By the way, does anybody realize that she never got the disease that everybody else was getting through contact via sweat? More on that later. So she's also good at sabotage. Here in the episode This Side of Paradise, everybody's been drugged yet again and are acting on impulse. And she has sabotaged the communications array enough so that you can have ship-to-ground communication, but there's no interstellar communication. Yet in the very next episode, in Who Mourns for Adonais, we see her working on the communications array, trying to punch holes through Apollo's force field. And Spock says that he can think of no one better equipped to do the kind of repair work that she's doing. She's also good in hand-to-hand combat. Here in the episode Mirror, Mirror, we see her going up against Spock, or Mirror Spock, and she even provides the solution to Captain Kirk when she hands him this skull that he basically cracks over Mirror Spock's head. In the very same episode here on the left, we see her She's just disarmed Marlena Moreau in the episode Mirror Mirror. And then, again, here in the Gamesters of Triskelion on the right, she's taking on two warriors who have been trained from birth to fight in the arena. Here in the episode Space Seed, she's just been backhanded on the left by one of the augments. And she gets up, and what is she going to do? She looks like she's about to throw down with this dude, too, and he's twice her strength. Fortunately, Merle MacGyver's comes up and sits her down and calms her down a little bit. But look at the fire in her eyes here on the left. She's pissed off. So she's also good at using the sensors. Here on the left, again, we see her using sensors in the episode Whom Gods Destroy. This is the episode with Garth of Izar. And there's been an explosion on the planet, and she's using the sensors to determine if there's still life on the planet. And again, in Who Mourns for Adneus, her and Chekhov and Lieutenant DeSalle are all looking at the sensors. Or no, this is Catspaw, I'm sorry. This episode is Catspaw. And they're looking at the sensors and they're realizing that they've put a dent in the force field that the aliens are using. So she's also good at controlling her emotions. You'll see here, again, we see on the left, she's being manhandled by Sulu. And she doesn't get the disease, apparently, that everybody else has where they lose control of their inhibitions. But then here on the right, we see her in Plato's Stepchildren. And she's admitting to the captain that she's oftentimes afraid, but she never shows that she's afraid. She just does her job. And that is the definition of courage, to be afraid and still do your job. But is she really a Mary Sue? This is the episode The Changeling, where she's relearning how to speak. Here we see her on the right, Nomad. The space probe has just wiped her memory. So she has trouble focusing sometimes because Nomad says that her thoughts are disordered. And here on the left, we see her in the man trap, and she's trying to talk to Spock because she's somewhat distracted. She's just trying to start a conversation, but she can be distracted. Here again on the left in the episode Journey to Babel, she's made a mistake here, and Kirk is pointing it out. They've established that there's a communicator on board transmitting to the enemy ship, and she hasn't changed her settings to interior ship sensors. So is she really a Mary Sue? I don't really think so. In this episode, we see her in Command Gold. It's the only time we do. And I understand the reason for it is because her uniform wasn't ready. But an in-universe explanation could be that she's tried out Command at one point and she didn't like it. So it could be that she's indecisive. So the fact that we see her having to relearn things, we see that she makes mistakes, and that she can be indecisive and she can be easily distracted, doesn't really make her a Mary Sue, in my opinion. But she's also not just the space telephone operator. So the next time somebody says, to you that Lieutenant Uhura in the original series is just a space telephone operator, please remember this video. Images are courtesy of trekcore.com. And please, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Comment. Let me know who you think is the most badass woman in Star Trek. And if you really like my content, which there's very little of right now, and I understand that I need more, but if you do like my content, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks. Have a great day.